Alright, scooter fans, it's finally here. Brand new Nanrobot N6. Awesome. Yes. Just came in today. Freaking amazing. Came in 2 boxes because it's shipped directly from the factory, so they can't ship the battery inside it. So they shipped that separately. Flip the camera around. You can see how beat up this box is thanks to FedEx. Look at this thing. This thing is blasted as far as damage goes to the box. It did great wrapping on the battery. That looks perfectly fine. But you can see here on the back, it's pretty torn up. See the awesome D6 Plus there in the background, which is amazing. But it's finally here. As you can see, N6, baby, right there. We're going to unbox this. We're going to check this out. Thankfully, Nanrobot puts this in 2 boxes. You have your outer box and your inner box. Not all manufacturers do that with the scooters, but they do it. So I'm hoping, praying that everything is great inside. And I know it will be, because the scooter is going to be amazing. Stay tuned. Alright, so we have it out of the box. It looks amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Look at this. Just beautiful. It's rubberized deck. This beautiful red here. Just looks super sleek, super awesome. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. Came with a couple of things in the box. You have a pump, which is great that it comes with that. Remote for the LEDs. I'll show that in a little bit, all lit up. User manual, really nice. All nice in color here. Just great quality by Nanrobot. Love that. And then a little extension too for your tires. So initial, after out of the box, the only damage I found was some rubbing here. You can see it on the top, right here on the edge. But I guess the biggest is right down here, where it kind of rubbed in the top of the box. And you can see this was covered, but unfortunately, you know, FedEx and all their shipping wisdom, you know, it's not Nanrobot's fault. They did package it very well. As you can see, it wasn't a double box. They had great packaging on the inside, but unfortunately, you know, it happens in shipping. Contact the manufacturer and be able to get that fixed, no problem. Be able to send me out a new replacement part for that. So let's dive into this a little bit deeper and check out all the details. Alright, so we got our 52 volt 26Ah battery here. It's going to go into our N6. It'll be pretty simple to do. Just going to pull this back here. You can see it's got a little stickiness on the back. Move this awesome rubber mat here. There's really great texture on this. Got a couple 4mm bolts down here. Just got to remove this first. The clamp on the back, same size, 4mm. So we'll remove this. Take a look on the inside and then stick the battery in. Before I close this up again, real fast, it's a really simple connection and setup. Everything is all nicely connected together from the controller, nice and sealed as well. So if you ever need to change out the battery on one of these, it's super simple, and that's really nice to know. So you basically just have 4 connections. You have your 2 motor connections right here. You plug those in, they only can go in one way. You have your 2 charging port connections right here. Also can only go in one way. And the nice thing too is that they come with 2 inline 5 amp fuses as well, so you get a nice protection as well. So I'm just going to neatly tuck this all back in, put the rubber gasket for the seal around, cover back on, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so our deck's placed back on there, so we're just going to move on to the next step. We're going to put our handlebars on. These are also 4mm, so we're just going to remove these, stick the handlebar in there, and then move on from there. Alright, so here you go guys, the Nanrobot N6. A couple of specs on this: 40 miles per hour, 40-mile range, awesome look to it, 2,000 watt dual motors, 10-inch off-road tires, just phenomenal looking. So let's go over the cool details on it. So we have our grips here, very similar, or actually the same as the D6 Plus. These are really great grips. Has this area that flares out here at the base, so you get this nice gripped area. No rotation to it at all. Nice and secure on there. We have our light for the front, the halo light, which is amazing at night. Gives great illumination. Also looks cool as well. And then it also, as you flick this 2 times fast, you get a nice cool strobe effect as well. We have our left and right turn signals, our horn. This is the switch for the front light, which is over here. And then it also controls the other lights on the deck and on the front. Gives this really cool wraparound effect, and we'll take a look at that in a little bit. Coming here to the display, great screen just like on the D6 Plus and on the LS7. This has a nice width to it. When you're riding, pretty much the same width as the D6 Plus as well. This is the clamp to hold the stem in place with the lock on the base at the deck. We have our throttle, our on and mode button, key switch with our voltmeter, and then we have the great hydraulic brakes that come on this as well. Super responsive. Like I said, just like the Z6 Plus, which is their flagship scooter for Nanrobot. So really the specs on this is almost identical to the D6 Plus, but a little different. And I think that was just a great incorporation, because that is the flagship scooter and everything just goes very well with this. And they really concentrated on the look, as you can see, to really bring out this futuristic and different look that you get with this scooter. So just like on their other scooters, they have this great stem height to it. I am 6 foot tall, and this is perfect for me. So you have that great stem height as you can see, and then they incorporated this front light on here as well, which is really super unique. I've never seen this on any other scooter like this. As you can see, very different, very cool. You have the Nanrobot branding here on the side. And before I jump down to the bottom, I went to cover the wrapping of these cables here. Now, if you saw when I was trying to put this together, it's actually very tight in here, which is nice because these are very clean with the cable wrappings. And then they have this nice kind of like jelly feel wrap on here too, which is beautiful, and it really brings all the wires together so they can fit it down into the stem area. So moving back down here, you have the Nanrobot logo on here. You have this great clamp. Absolutely love this clamp. Keeps the stem zero wobbles, super easy. You just undo it, whole thing pops out, collapses down, and then you just come back in, tighten it back up, and then you're good to go, ready to ride again. And then he even did a custom kind of logo on here as well, which is very neat. It has this nice grip on here as well. And they have the super cool blue halo light. Looks amazing at night as well. Moving down to the fenders, great glossy red, beautiful color, also matches the springs here. I mean, it's just, the aesthetics on this are just mind-blowing. The great thing with this too is that they come with the hybrid tires, so this is a great mixture between your off-road and on-road tires. Coming down to the 160 millimeter brakes here for the rotors. You see the Nanrobot branding there. So these are really phenomenal brakes. Gonna love these. Coming down to the side arms here, you can see the design of it. Said very futuristic, very sleek looking, and they have all this great cable wrapping here as well. Just keeps it very nice and clean, nothing to get snagged on as well, and it just kind of brings into that image of the scooter too. Coming down here too to the front, so this is all has almost a little bit of a rubberized texture, but this is where, so you have LEDs that are wrapped all in here. These look really, really cool, and I'm going to show you as it gets darker out here so you can see these a little bit better. But there's LEDs that change colors, have all these different effects that all are behind here as well. Almost looks like a front of a vehicle robot or something like that. It just has this really cool effect though. Moving down to the deck area, nice and super wide. Throw my foot up there so you can see. I wear 11-inch shoes, and you can see tons of room on there, great deck space. I like the flare out here as well, as you can see. You have these nice curves. It just creates this very sleek look here as well. Down to the nice rubberized deck. Just great feel to it. Looks awesome. Got this raised Nanrobot logo here as well. But I really wanted to capture the side here because I think this is just super unique looking. These illuminate well as well. And then even underneath, which you won't be able to see now, as they're not illuminated yet, but there's a LED strip that that runs this whole entire base right here as well. I just think that's awesome, and it just really adds into it too. Dual charge ports right here, also covered for the waterproofing. They incorporated the kickstand, same as the D6 Plus. Really super sturdy and awesome, and it holds the scooter up great. And these little, I guess, ridges here on the outside, these little hooks are great to be able to kind of get your foot on the side of it and knock it down so you can place it on the kickstand position. Moving back here, you have the lights. These illuminate as well, and also work for the brake, so you have this great illumination in the back, which is always important, especially when you're riding at night. And to have that back illumination so people can see you out in the road. This is the hook to attach the stem down to it, so it locks it in place. Coming back to this really wide foot plate here, and then also has the rubber on there as well. And then just follows this aesthetics back to the rear. Also has a LED light for the braking system. Back to our rear fender, and then our rear suspension as well. So let's move back up to the top. Let's turn it on so you have your voltmeter here. Hit our power button. Really great display. As you can see, it's pretty bright out right now. You can clearly see it as well. You can see I have the right turn signal on, so that's switch to the right. You have the left. You have your single motor. We hit our power button, hit a switch, and now it notifies you that you're in dual motor mode instead of single. You can switch the modes for your gears, which is the M button over here. Go through 1, 2, and 3. Get into the P settings if you need to. It's super easy. Just hold down both buttons right here, and then it takes you into your P settings. You can change those easily. Hold down the buttons again, and you're back. Now the nice thing with this is one of the issues that they were having with the D6 Plus, which they fixed in this, and the screen, is that when you turned off your scooter after you change your settings, for example, kilometers per hour is the default, but when you switched it to miles per hour, you turned off the scooter, it would reset. They fixed that with this, so now you're good to go. Any P settings that you set in there is squared away now. Alright, so let's take a look at the front lights and the LEDs around the deck. So you're going to hit that button on there. As you can see, you have this great illumination here now all down the front. And it's really nice that they incorporated the secondary button, just in case you didn't want that on. Sometimes you don't want to be riding and have all your lights on, so it's great that they included that. So it turns on this front light, so you get this great illumination here. And then you can see down here, now at the base you have the LEDs that run, and you get these really cool effects. You can change through all the different colors, different run sequences. Also has music sequence, so if you're jamming out, rocking to the beats as you're riding, you're gonna get these really cool effects to the music as well. You can see it illuminates down here, and then you can see down here at the base, and you get the cool effect that runs underneath all the way to the back here. So you have the illumination here on the back, and then for the tail light. And the nice thing too is that this is placed facing upward, so when you're riding and people are coming up behind you, it has that illumination that shows upwards and not just straight back. And that is a really great thing when you're riding at night. They get that extra illumination. So you see there, you have the left turn signal, and it'll illuminate the bottom part, and then also the back section right here. And then the right side. And then you also get the brakes as well. So you get the flash, and as you can see on that rear tail light, it gets just a little bit brighter as well. so this is for the front stem light on the N6. You can see the displays on there. Pitch black out here. Check this out. It's gonna be awesome. Wow. Well, look how much that illuminates. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Never seen anything like this. Look how bright that is. That is just the front stem light. Got those lights rocking there on the deck. Let's throw the front light on here as well. Awesome. Look at that illumination. Really, really cool.